ran strong in the last, 6 rounds. So I mean, we kind of came out of Crandon with a tough weekend, and we're going to come in here with our heads high and high expectations.
The defending Pro Lite champion, Kyle LeDuc.
Well, there's no doubt he's kind of the hometown hero here. He's one of many guys who are from this area. He would love nothing better than to pull off a victory here at what could become his hometown track.
On board once again with Art Schmidt, who is currently in 6th position. Schmidt, 54 years of age, from Pittsburgh, and is currently 6th in the point standings. As far as podiums are concerned, he has had 6 so far in this 2005 CORR Lucas Oil Pro Series season.
And there you can see he's battling with Federico. He got that long, he got a good run, got to the inside. This little S section right here is very difficult. Oh, he got tagged right there. Federico nailed it. You don't realize how hard it is. You're kind of half out of control all the time in one of these trucks when you're going around here. So I'm sure he didn't do that on purpose, but he certainly did spin him out.
Great overhead view of this course here in Chula Vista, California. Back with more in just a moment. Off-road Nationals in Chula Vista, California, south of San Diego. And there is the leader, Kyle LeDuc, and he's got a flat left rear.
Man, oh man, what a tough break for Kyle LeDuc. He's virtually led this thing from the very start. Now with that flat tire, there's no way. There's just too many. This racetrack is too fast, too many corners in it to maintain that lead. And you can see that tire is shredding, and it's going to tear up the suspension. Here comes Kincaid, and he goes by easily.
Yeah, he does. Jeff Kincaid takes the lead after LeDuc had led virtually all of this race. Kincaid, another driver, happy to be racing here in the West.
I was a little scared at first. It looked a little fast, but it's really fun to drive. I think they did a excellent job, and it's great to be back out in Southern California again, and come back to let Toyota see what we can do for them, and we'll see what happens. Competition's getting tough, but we got a good chance at winning this championship.
Indeed, this is going to help a lot because remember, Horde had problems at the very beginning, although he has come back to run in 2nd position. But Kincaid is going to get the points here, and that is if he continues on his way the last half of this lap. He has the most career wins in the CORR Off-Road Racing Series with 34, and maybe we'll add 35 here this afternoon as he gets the white flag and is on his last lap. Krieger in 3rd now. Schmidt has come back to 4th spot.
And you can see Kincaid, this racetrack is pretty rough, so Kincaid's got to make it through this last lap and not get a flat tire, because Horde, even though he's not close enough to challenge him as long as Kincaid's running, he is close enough to challenge if something goes wrong. And there's poor Kyle LeDuc.
Yeah.
Tough break for him. He's off the track.
Very, very tough break. Here is Chad Horde in 2nd position right now, still holding on to the points lead, but he is not going to be able to catch Jeff Kincaid, as Kincaid is very, very close to the checkered flag.
You got to give him a lot of credit, though. He came from 8th back to 2nd. That's a great run for Chad Horde.
Jeff Kincaid wins here in Chula Vista.
Well, Kincaid's always been the man to beat in this division. He had a lot of trouble early in the season, but he's come on strong here in the last part of the season.
We'll be back with more championship off-road racing in the Nissan Nationals after this.
We're the only truck out here on BF Goodrich's, and it showed. Kyle got a good hole shot on us, and we're just passing our way through here, but I'll tell you what, it's nutrition that takes account, and here we are at Forest County Potawatomis, BF Goodrich, and Toyota, and we're closing in on that championship.
It will go down to the final round. Chad finishing right behind you, so you make up a little bit of ground on him.
Chad's a good racer, and that's the only way to go, right down to the last round, and we'll have a good race.
Taking a look at the point standings, Chad Horde had a 6-point advantage coming into this event, and now that is down to just 2. So the championship, which will be concluded here in round 14, is definitely up for grabs at this point. Here's a good look at the Pro 4 trucks as they're lined up ready to go on this brand new racetrack, which is incidentally the subject of our Toyo Tires Inside Tracks.
This short course is a mile long, the long course 2 miles long. We all come in here, it's all done, and I've got to tell you it's fabulous, but I've got to ask you, how long did it take to put this facility together that consumes the better part of 300 acres?
Well, we got the permit in the middle of August, and it took a little over a month. But we have a lot of land development, real estate projects, housing projects right in the area. We had plenty of equipment. We get in here and get it pretty quick.
Where did the design, the actual layout of the track come from?
Well, me. I mean, the basic overall layout, the track itself was a combination of myself, my two sons, Jason and Josh, my son-in-law Carl, Renazetter, Kurt Leduc, Scott Douglas, some of the other racers of CORR that live here in Southern California. Oh, we met out here a couple of months ago when it was nothing more than barley fields, and kind of said, I think the best spot's here, and we had a little bit of a discussion about where we had to put the track and how the topo should work, and it just kind of all built from that.
We've seen the best in desert racing have come out with some new trucks to get in here and beat and bang with these guys. We're going to have an awesome event.
That's right. The best in the business are here racing. The best racers and some of the best motocross people like Jerry McGrath, who's just taken over and driving a Pro 2 truck. That's what our whole goal was when we bought this series, to take this to the mainstream and take this. I don't know if we'll get to the level of NASCAR, but we won't be far behind them in a couple of years.
Guys, there's some passionate people in motorsports, but none any more passionate than this man right here.
Jim and the group have done a great job putting this track together in just a short period of time, one that is friendly to spectators and drivers alike. There's a look at the Pro 4 starting grid, and Larry, some relative newcomers in this one.
Yeah, some guys who have been in off-road racing, but more of the long-distance stuff. Troy Herbst and Jim McKenzie, the desert racers, are in this. And, of course, Rob McCachran, who is no stranger to this series, back for the first time in a couple of years after the last time out he won the championship.
Yeah, we're glad to see a former CORR driver back for this new Western event. We are speaking, of course, of Rob McCachran.
We really love racing with CORR and Crandon and all the competitors. Johnny Greaves, all those guys are awesome, and you know, I'm glad that they decided they'd like to have me back. The truck has sat for 4 years. We're out here having fun. This is a great opportunity for us to get back out, shake the cobwebs off, and do what we got to do for next year.
On board here with Carl Renazetter, he is second in points coming into this event. Second behind Johnny Greaves, who will be going for his 6th consecutive victory. Let's take a look at the odometer starting grid for this one.
Well, you can see Al Drews and Rick Huseman are going to start on the inside. McCrossan and then Leduc as we go outside. Rob McCachran is definitely looking for a sponsor for next year. He would very much like to come back here and get back in the groove, race this series full-time next year, especially now that they're going to come to the West Coast more often than they have here in the past.
Yeah, we understand that 2 races could be here in Chula Vista or in the San Diego area next year, and 2 in the Los Angeles area. Here's the green flag. Here we go with the Pro 4 division, and Carl Renazetter tries to get to the first turn first and does.
Boy, that helicopter shot really shows you how important it is to get off the line and down that land rush start and into turn number 1.
Jason
Renazetter did a great job right there.
Yeah, Jason Baldwin fell into 2nd position. There they are, 1st and 2nd, and there in 3rd place, the yellow truck is Johnny Greaves.
Now, Johnny Greaves got a pretty good start. Not as good a start as he has a lot of times. You can see these guys really chasing this racetrack, though. This is the first, they got a little practice time this morning, but this is a brand new racetrack, and they're trying different grooves all the time because they put a little water on it. It changes how you have to run this racetrack.
Jason Baldwin closing in on the leader, Renazetter. There you see the top 5. Josh Baldwin runs back and forth, and Kurt Leduc is in 5th spot.
Yeah, Kurt Leduc, McCachran giving him a little trouble right now as we're on board with McCachran. That's Leduc right in front of him. This S section is a very tough section of the race course. You can see right there, McCachran absolutely could not see a thing for just a second.
First 3 stay very, very close together.
Boy, look at Baldwin. Look how close he came. Never touched him, but he couldn't have been any closer. That could have been a bump trap if it had been in NASCAR.
Greaves hanging right in there. He's only a couple of truck lengths behind, but up front it is a side-by-side battle between Renazetter and Jason Baldwin, and Baldwin is going to take the lead.
Jason Baldwin just got to the inside going into that corner, moved him over a little bit. Now then Renazetter, I'm sure, unhappy either with himself or with Baldwin, gets right up there, gives him a little bit of a love tap can't make the pass, though.
He could have taken him out very easily then, but didn't.
Well, that's exactly what's so, oh, he tapped him again. You can see the hood move that time when he touched him, but that's what's so beautiful about this deal. As long as you don't hit him bad and hard enough to spin him out, that's just part of the game.
And now here comes Redezetter back on this left-hander as he retakes the lead. And Greaves is really charging up now toward Baldwin.
Jason Baldwin is on this high side. He should have more straightaway speed. Now he goes to the high side once again. He is going to have more straightaway speed, and he's going to take the lead. Nope, he didn't. I thought he was going to get the lead again.
Great racing up ahead of Josh Baldwin. We'll stay on board with him here to watch the battle for the top three. Redezetter has the lead, then Baldwin and Johnny Greaves. They are very, very close. Oh, Greaves gets off course a little bit.
Well, he sure did. He just got sideways, went off course, back on again. But it's very easy to do here at this racetrack.
At the moment here, the top five, although it's a very close battle among the top three, with his chances momentarily of winning this event.
The chase is
Truck of Championship Off-Road Racing. And by Kumho Tires, race-proven performance and the official tire of Championship Off-Road Racing. Well, we're in the Pro 4 division, and we're on board with Rob McCachran, who is currently in 5th position as Carl Redezetter leads.
Yeah, Rob McCachran has not run for a couple of years. This is his old truck, so he really dominated with this truck. So I think he hasn't quite updated it as much. Some of these guys, oh boy, man, that was a body slam and a half as he went in there and just nailed Josh Baldwin. He made the pass, but oh, Baldwin comes back and says, that's tit for tat, my man, tit for tat.
And so, through all that, Greaves takes 2nd position. Now, here's what happened during break.
Whoa.
And that's pretty serious stuff there. That is LeDuc.
Kyle LeDuc, he goes over the jump, gets sideways, comes down right on the main straightaway, goes up, bangs into the, he didn't really hit the wall. He high-sided on that banking there, and then just turned that truck over. This is his first Pro 4 run, I believe, and didn't end up so good.
Certainly didn't. All right, battle here for 2nd position, Jason Baldwin and Johnny Greaves. Greaves looking for his 6th consecutive victory. He's put 5 wins together, and now looking for 6. We talked with Johnny Greaves earlier in the weekend about his run for the 2005 championship.
I've been in this position many a times, and a lot more than once it's came down to the last race. So we're just going to take it like we did every race. You know, a win would be good, and then our last round we should just be able to cruise and have a good time. But if we don't put it together first one, there's going to be a war.
39-year-old driver from De Pere, Wisconsin, and his brother Kurt is the crew chief on this car.
Yeah, he just made that pass going through that corner. He has really done a great job here the last part of the season. They had a lot of mechanical troubles. Kurt, his brother, did a good job figuring out the problems they were having, fixing those problems, and since then they've been unbeatable. Look at this shot from the helicopter. Look at the people. I mean, this is a great, great shot. A lot of grandstands here, but there's a lot of people here. They expect over 30,000 people this weekend.
And some good racing to boot, as Greaves has taken the position from Baldwin now. Carl Redezetter continues to lead this race, but now Johnny Greaves in 2nd spot begins his pursuit of Carl.
Yeah, Johnny Greaves is not exactly where he wants to be. He'd rather be in the lead, but he is in a position to maintain that lead. Put him in a great spot in the championship.
Redezetter, Greaves, Baldwin, and McCachran, the top 5. Chula Vista, California, the Nissan Off-Road Nationals. Carl Redezetter having a good run today, but this hasn't exactly been a smooth season for him and his team. They have been plagued all year with engine problems.
We had to switch our whole system over at the end of the season because we had so many motor problems. We had to make a change, and so we changed our electronics. But now, now that we've figured it out, we're going to go out there and we're going to do it.
He continues to lead here. Well, but look at Greaves charging right up on the back part of that truck.
Carl Redezetter has led this division for a lot of the year, even though he's had so many engine problems, and only in the last few races when Greaves has been so strong. And look at Greaves. He is, again, very, very strong. You know, the big difference that I see, that's a straight stick. Johnny Greaves runs a straight stick. Everybody else runs the automatic. And that truck is 4,000 pounds. Everybody else 4,600, 4,700 pounds. Uh-oh, Renizitter's got a problem. That tire's flat. That's not a good thing.
It sure is, as the white flag comes out. One more lap to go. If Greaves is able to pass and take the lead and win this race, and he's about to take the lead. Yes, he does, if he can win.
Renizitter does not give up easy. They battled and banged all the way down the straightaway. Renizitter is not a quitter. Oh, look at this. Greaves gets almost off the racetrack. He gave Renizitter a chance to come back. And if Renizitter didn't have a flat tire, I guarantee you he would have got the lead back.
Here's a replay. This is incredible as these...
Look at that. Neither guy gives up. Remember last year, right at the very end, the same thing happened. There's not any love lost between these two guys after the very last race of the season last year. The same thing happened. Nobody was going to give in. But you can see, Renizitter couldn't move over. If he'd gone to the right, he was going to hit the cement barrier.
Wow. Well, all this means that Johnny Greaves has the lead and is about to win his 6th in a row. And if he does, he will break a record. Jeff Kincaid won 5 in a row in 2000, and there's the checkered flag. Greaves won 5 in a row in 1999, and he now pushes that up to 6 in a row.
Brown and Carl's by no means out of it, and no way will he give up. You know, just to say thanks to Toyota Potawatomi, you know, Jim Baldwin for bringing us out here. This is awesome, and you know, B.F. Goodrich. Hey, man, this place is unreal.
Talk to me real quickly about this race, because Carl was checked out, dude. He was gone. This truck was fast.
Yeah, you know, I wanted to stay clean in the beginning, and, you know, me and Jason tangled a little bit. I went off the track. Josh got by me, and I said, boy, Carl's getting away. I need to get back to the front and make something happen, because the laps are winding down quick. And I honestly didn't think I was going to catch him, but once I got in the second, I saw some spots where I was making a little time on him, and it worked out.
Johnny Greaves with 15 points, and we talked to him before the race about his strategy for these final 2 rounds of racing.
We're going to do what we always do. We're just going to go out and run this race like it's supposed to be run. We'll go out and we're going to run real hard, because now it's all Carl's to lose. So we're just going to run as hard as we can run and try to get points back. If Carl gets a couple of bad finishes and we pull home a couple good finishes, a couple first, we could get this thing back.
It's going to be a good battle to finish here, Larry. We'll see if Scott can indeed take his 7th title in a row, but Renizitter is really tough. There's Josh Baldwin in the new paint scheme. And right now it is Carl Renizitter, the man to beat. His mission here in Chula Vista to become the next Pro 2 champion by dethroning Scott Taylor.
We're fast right now, but you know, I don't think Scott's going to go down easily. We got a 15-point lead coming into the last 2 races. We got to be smart, but you know, I tried that last year, a little points racing. It didn't work out too well for me. So I'm going to go out. I'm going to be good in the first turn, but then I'm going to go for the win.
And a visitor to the CORR Championship is Jeremy McGrath.
Yeah, and of course he's such a great motorcycle racer. If he adapts to these trucks and decides to run this series next year, he could be big trouble for these guys in Pro 2, believe me, because he's very good. The reflexes, we've seen a lot of motorcycle racers, including Johnny Greaves, do very well here.
And let's take a look now at the Nissan Titan starting grid. Evan Evans and Brian Hinman will start side by side.
Of course, as we go farther to the left, they will be staggered back and they will be farther away. This is a huge field. I think these are the hugest fields of trucks that we've seen all year, in all divisions, Pro Lite, Pro 2, and Pro 4. Look at that, 2 complete rows of trucks here. Jeremy McGrath starts in the back in that 2nd row, so he's going to have a long way to go to get up front and challenge these guys for the lead. Look at this, Guerrero and Borisset, 2 real veterans of every kind of racing. We also have some Sportsman 2 guys in the back of the field who are running a non-points race.
On board with Scott Douglas as the green flag flies. You see it over there to the far right of your screen, and here we go. And it looks like Josh Baldwin in that blue and yellow paint scheme is going to take the lead.
Yeah, that's a very different paint scheme for him, something we're not used to seeing, but it brought him good luck. It sure did here today, because he got the lead in turn number 1, and it's very important. Look at the battle back through here, this group of trucks. Kevin Probst back there doing a great job. Here comes Evan Evans in that 2nd yellow truck.
Josh Baldwin in the 86 truck is sporting the Navy paint scheme, as we pointed out to you this morning. We talked to him about his new look.
You know, we put together a deal for the Pro 2 for the Navy, and we're happy to support the armed forces out here and you know, represent them best we can.
While Josh was talking, Probst took the lead.
Army passed the Navy. Look out, that won't be good for the Navy, believe me. And there goes Van and Hoovel into second. So not only are the military battling each other, but Van and Hoovel's getting in there as well. Uh-oh, that's Scotty Taylor.
It is Taylor.
He went up and banged the wall out there. Looks like he's pulling off.
Wow, this is a major, major point in the championship.
Well, if he's in back out, he's dead. He's dead in the water. He cannot win it if he doesn't get in there and have a good finish today. Tough break for him.
He was 15 points behind going into these last 2 rounds and had to pull off some outstanding performances and just is not going to do it. Meanwhile, we take a look at those up front. There's Baldwin as he maintains 3rd position, but Vanden Heuvel is right behind Probst now.
And here comes Scott Douglas as he's got the inside track going through this corner. He looks like he's going to make the pass. And Vanden Heuvel went way wide, almost got into the barriers out there. If you get too wide, it's very, very loose out there. A lot of really loose dirt, and it just bogs the truck down. You can't get going through that real deep, heavy dust out there.
The red truck is Scott Douglas. This is his 1st year in Pro 2. He has finished 3rd in points the last 2 years in Pro 4 and is currently in 3rd position in the Pro 2 division. Right now he runs 3rd behind Supercross champion who's 6th, and Larry, he's looking like he's on a Sunday drive out there.
Yeah, he's taking his arm out the window, just cruising here, and he's running in 6th. I mean, he's beating 10 of the best out there. There's only 5 in front of him.
Vanden Heuvel is your leader with Probst running 2nd and Douglas there in the red truck running in 3rd spot, and a great battle for the lead here as Probst tries to get it from Vanden Heuvel. They are side by side.
Again, this racetrack, a terrific racetrack. You can run high or low. The difference in the banking makes a world of difference. This time it was Vanden Heuvel went low and he got the lead.
Oh, that was just a beautiful move, a bit of a slide job, but by golly,
that's what this race is all about. This is a very tricky section. Vanden Heuvel had the best spot, and he pulled away now from Kevin Probst. Probst is not giving up. He goes back after him. Every time they go down one of these long straightaways, he just kind of tries to outbreak him into the next corner.
Kevin Probst has had 2 podium finishes this year in his 25th season of racing. And there is McGrath running in 6th spot.
Yeah, he's having a great run, really. I mean, he's not catching those first 5 guys, but believe me, if you've never been in a truck like this, he's doing a great job. And Evan Evans, you can see the smoke coming out of there. That's not a good thing for him.
A tough break for Evan Evans, who came into this race 8th in the point standings. Meanwhile, the battle for 2nd is on.
Yeah, that's Scott Douglas trying to get around Probst. We're running along with Josh Baldwin. All 3 of those guys really in the battle. Oh, you can see right there, Probst really got the back end high coming off that jump.
While we watch this battle up front, Jeremy McGrath driving a Baldwin-owned truck for this event.
This opportunity is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to have one of the best trucks out here, be on this team, and have these 2 weeks of racing truck. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that?
And besides Jeremy McGrath, we have Indianapolis 500 veteran and former pole sitter Roberto Guerrero in the field.
I know that they're going for the championship here, all the guys that race this full time, so try not to step in on their way and just go out there, have fun, and do the best I can.
And also among the guest drivers, Boris Said, who's logged plenty of miles in NASCAR and sports cars. We talked to him about his strategy this weekend.
I'm not going to be in a position to win, but hopefully I'll have a good time. And I mean, this Nissan truck is fast. I mean, you can't believe how fast they are. They're only geared to go about 100 miles an hour, and they have 700 horsepower. So, I mean, they're a riot to drive.
And the battle for 3rd here between Josh Baldwin and Scott Douglas.
Boy, look at that. Baldwin got to the inside of him, had a big rut down there. The whole front end of the truck jumped off the ground, so he did not make the pass, but he certainly hadn't given up. While those 2 guys have been battling each other, though, it's allowed Probst to pull out to a little bit of a lead on them.
And Vandenheuvel, of course, is the overall leader right now. And Yosemite Grove side by side again as Baldwin and Douglas continue to bump on each other.
They certainly do, and it looks like Baldwin might have the best of that deal right there as Kevin Probst maintains that second position. There you can see Josh Baldwin did get around, so he's now chasing down Kevin Probst. Douglas isn't giving up, though. He got her up on the bike. He got her on 2 wheels. This racetrack's getting a little bit rough right now.
Dan Vandenheuvel from Appleton, Wisconsin, 43-year-old driver, is the leader. Looking continues to lead as Kevin Probst, with whom we are on board, is running in second position, and the leader's pretty far up there.
Now, Scott Douglas.
Whoa, what's going on here?
Probst has had trouble. He's pulled off the racetrack way to the high side, and it looks like he's dead. Oh, he's stuck. He got up there in that real heavy dirt and dust, and he just went way high and got stuck up there. What a tough break for him.
That moves Josh Baldwin up to second position, and Steve Barlow is now up to third spot.
Yeah, I started to say Douglas has pulled off. He's had trouble and pulled off too, so 2 of the guys that were right up front the whole race are off. Here's what happened to Douglas. Because he looks like he just got sideways, spun that thing around, and while he's trying to get her straightened up, about a half a dozen trucks went around her.
Lost many positions with the spin. So the standings have changed greatly back of Vandenheuvel, but he continues to lead here, and the white flag comes out. He is on his final lap. He is looking for his second win of the year. His only win this year was in round 7 at Topeka, Kansas.
Boy, he has looked strong out here. This normally would be the kind of track that I wouldn't think he'd run good at. And look at this. Josh Baldwin, the rear suspension on the right rear of that thing is completely down. You know, you can't run a truck. Look at that thing. Bounces like a basketball over those jumps. You just can't drive one of these trucks when those big, huge shocks are not operating properly.
Wow, another tough break for Baldwin. And here comes Barlow. He's going to be able to pass him for position.
Well, the Navy better get to work on that thing if they want it to run better, because that, without a shock, look at that, there's pieces flying off those trucks. This racetrack is rough, and here comes Carl Renesetter.
Renesetter is going to clinch the championship here this afternoon.
Yeah, all he's got to do is run third, and he just took over that position. And with Josh Baldwin with that broken suspension, couldn't do a thing.
Dan Vandenheuvel from Appleton, Wisconsin wins. And here comes Carl Renesetter, who is the champion of the Pro 2 division.
Tell you what, Josh Baldwin didn't give up. He's still standing on the gas. And I'll tell you what, that's going to be hard on your back running over those jumps as with no suspension in the back of that truck.
Congratulations to Carl Renesetter, who has prevailed in the championship for the season. And there's the winner of the race, Vandenheuvel.
Yeah, and he's got to be a happy guy. This is not the kind of track he usually runs good. Look at the group. Look at Renesetter's crew. Running down there. They've had a long way to run. It's a long way from the pit down there to victory lane.
But the hugs are going to start here as the championship celebration begins.
Yeah, hands in the air, slaps on the back. Well, he deserves it. He's had a pretty tough year in a lot of respects, but he deserved to win this championship.
Take a look at the final standings. In the meantime, we'll go down to our FabTech winner's circle. Ken Stout talks with the champ.
You just dethroned a 6-time champion that has been unstoppable. Scotty has been a true champion, but man, you stepped up and took out one of the best.
You know what? I mean, how could something mean more than this? I mean, Scott Taylor's a legend out here. He's not lost a championship in 6 years. And this Lucas Oil BF Goodrich team, with help of Speed Automotive, got us into this position here, and we are just elated. These guys, you know, the beginning of our season, it was crazy. We lost motors, we had downtime. Who would have thought we'd ever crawl out of that hole? But you know what? This team deserves this championship, and it's not about me. It's about the team and all of our sponsors who stuck by us through this time. And man, we are just in heaven right now, baby. Come on, woo!
National Off-Road Raceway, where today the fans have gathered to see round 1 of Pro 4 and round 2 of Pro Lite, as the $332,000 Nissan Off-Road Nationals continue. In Pro 4, 2005 champion and Wisconsin native Johnny Greaves is without question the man to beat, having won his last 7 starts. However, a host of Californians, Carl Renazetter, Jason Baldwin, Josh Baldwin, Kurt LeDuc, Rick Huseman, and Scott Douglas all would like nothing more than to win on their home turf. And in Pro Lite, can Chad Hoare duplicate this round one victory and win $15,000? We'll find out next on Speed. Won the 2005 championship in this division. Now, Jason Baldwin has been penalized by CORR officials for rough driving in the morning practice. As a result, he's been forced to forfeit his qualifying position. Will start last in the second row. Here's Ken Stout.
This Pro 4 race is going to be incredible. Some of the best trucks ever built in Pro 4 are going to come out here and beat and bang. You have people like the Herbs, the big desert guys, who are going to come out here and have some fun, but keep your eyes on Scott Douglas, who has come back to the Pro 4 ranks at a Pro 2 where he ran all season long. But the man you're going to have to watch is Johnny Greaves. Keep in mind, he has not lost a race in the last 7 outings. The truck has just been bullet fast.
We're going to use the CORR Point Championship system to score these races, but the highest finish in the second round will be used to break any ties. The interesting thing, they're going to throw a yellow with only 5 laps to go to bunch them up. $332,000 on the line. The Pro 4 champion gets $30,000. The Pro Lite champion, $15,000. Big money here today.
Scott Douglas will race Pro 4 in this 2-race championship. He spent the 2005 season in Pro 2. We asked him about the difference between driving Pro 4 and Pro 2 on this track.
It's trickier in Pro 4 than it is in Pro 2. I was surprised about that. I thought it would be easier to drive in Pro 4. But the thing about it is the speeds are so high here that the trucks stick so hard in Pro 4. Pro 2, they slide around the corners.
Well, these things are fast. They're full-size, 4-wheel drive pickup trucks, 20 inches of suspension travel in the rear, 800 horsepower, 3,400 pounds. These things really move around this racetrack.
We have 6 onboard cameras in the race. Johnny Greaves will have one. Now, he is on the pole position as determined by qualifying. Rob McCachran starts second. He's the 2000 and 2001 Pro 4 champion. Also on boards with Josh Baldwin and Kurt LeDuc. Rick Huseman has an onboard camera, and so does Carl Renazetter, who starts back in the 7th position.
Get a good look from all these guys going around this racetrack.
Here is the way they will line up the starting grid for this race, which has, as Larry indicated, a lot of money on the line.
Yes, and they'll start from the inside. That's Johnny Greaves. He's clear to the right-hand side of your screen. He's going to start on the inside, the closest to turn number 1, so he should have a good shot.
$30,000 up for grabs in this 2-race championship.
Go, 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 go!
And here indeed we go as the green flag comes out.
Oh, we got contact already. Look at this, Johnny Greaves.
Whoa!
He made a jump where there was no, it was a straightaway. He comes back on and he makes more contact.
He makes contact with McCachran there and almost got over.
Oh, Douglas got sideways. He and Johnny Greaves. Johnny Greaves has been a ping pong ball so far.
Josh Baldwin on board with him. He's running in 4th position, and look at the body work coming off as he's tangled up with McCachran and Jason Baldwin.
Jason Baldwin came along, got screwed up in that whole mess, and he got going again. But wow, that was a real mess there right off the start.
This is Carl Renazetter, who has jumped out into the lead. Rick Huseman runs back in 2nd position. Greaves has recovered from that near disaster right at the start to run in 3rd. And then Scott Douglas, Kurt LeDuc, and desert off-road racer Ed Herbst running in 6th place.
Let's go back and take another look at the start of this race. As they go over that first little jump there's a couple of contacts. Right there, Josh Baldwin got into Greaves, then he got into McCachran, went over that inside berm, then came back on the racetrack. And in the second instant, you can see the McCachran slowed up. Josh Baldwin got into him, and then comes along Jason Baldwin right there. Looked like he got out of the gas or something. He got tagged from the back, and then gets hit again. And Jason Baldwin, who was behind them, came through, tried to get through, and tagged him, and got caught up in the whole mess.
This is the onboard from McCachran, and as a result of this little incident, he is running at the back of the pack. Well, Carl Renazetter is the leader of this race, which has already seen a lot of action.
Yeah, he got a great start. It's amazing that Johnny Greaves is up to 3rd place after all that.
Ed Herbst talked about racing against a bunch of short course off-road racing veterans. He is a veteran of the Desert Off-Road Series.
Come in their backyard and start doing a sport that they've been doing. it's hard to get up to speed. I mean, you could go out there and be competitive, a middle-of-the-pack guy, but the top 5 trucks here really, really run hard, and they really know what they're up to.
You can say that again. This is Rick Huseman, who's running in 2nd position. Up ahead of him is Carl Redezetter, who right now has a fairly comfortable lead, but we're in the This championship off-road racing event is being brought to you by Nissan Shift Performance, the official truck of championship off-road racing. And by Kumho Tires, race-proven performance, and the official tire of championship off-road racing. Welcome back. Round 1 of Pro 4 continues from Chula Vista. Carl Redezetter continues to lead. This shot from high above in our helicopter camera. And a battle beginning to develop here for 2nd position. That's Rick Huseman in the blue. And Johnny Greaves not too far behind him. So that little incident that Greaves had at the start of the race hasn't really affected him here. He's challenging Huseman for 2nd.
Yeah, Huseman caught a rut there. It threw him wide, and he just caught another one that pushed the front end out of him. That's going to give Greaves a great chance to go around him. Huseman, this is his first year in the Pro 4s. He's been a Pro Lite driver up until this year. He's done a terrific job, and boy, he's against some of the best in the world right now.
Greaves takes a 2nd position. He won both prior Pro 4 races here. In fact, he's won 7 straight Pro 4 races. But remember, this is not a points-paying race. He's going, however, for $30,000 in this 2-race championship.
Now remember, that Toyota engine's a little smaller than most, and because of that, they use a straight stick in that transmission in that truck instead of the automatic that most of these guys run.
Here's a battle for 5th position behind 4th place Scott Douglas, Jason Baldwin, and Kurt LeDuc. Now, Jason is one of the designers of this track, so we asked him what kind of feedback he's gotten from the fans about this event.
You know, you talk to any of these fans out here, they'll tell you, some of them that are new fans, I had no idea how cool this was. This is so cool.
You're clear, Jason, you're clear. Coming on your inside.
Well, I was going to say, he's not real clear because he's in there tapping on the back end of him. So, you know, LeDuc is not giving an inch. He's been right there trying to get that position back. And there they're rubbing wheels going through that big left-hander.
On board with Kurt LeDuc going over one of the jumps. Kurt is using some special tires for today's race. Now, we had some tire issues in the previous Pro 4 race. We asked him about today's race and the special tires.
The tires that this team, Kurt LeDuc's racing on this weekend, have been sitting in my garage since June, waiting for this event to come around. Some of the teams, they put special compounds together, they deliver tires to the track. Those tires have not cured. They can speed it up, it's like cement. They can change the cure rate on those things. But the tires that we're racing on have been here since June. And I don't think there's a team here this weekend that have planned that far ahead.
Well, that's a good idea. You know, it does make the tires harder. They did have a lot of flat tires earlier. They have tried to cure that problem. They actually poured cement in some places on this racetrack to get rid of the sharp rocks that were causing the flat tires.
Battle for first. Look at Greaves sneaking up on Carl Redezetter. Redezetter finished 2nd to Greaves in the 2005 championship, and they have quite a battle going on here. Greaves trying to get to the inside, but can't make it stick, at least at the moment. Redezetter doing a nice job of holding him off. Carl won 4 times during the 2005 season. We asked Johnny Greaves about his strategy for this 2-round championship.
They're all sick of me winning, you know. 7 in a row, I don't think they want to see 8 or 9 in a row, so we're going to go for the wins and just let it happen.
He is the man to beat, but can he get by Carl Redezetter? That's the question as we pause for these messages.
Put it down in the streets, will I see another day? If I make it back this time, or what is mine to take?
Now that's the group POD who performed here at the Nissan Off-Road Nationals. Jim Baldwin and the people of CORR have gone all out to make this a very interesting and exciting experience for the race fans. Carl Redezetter continues to lead Johnny Greaves here in this Pro 4 event, but just by that much.
Yeah, and Johnny Greaves is all over him trying to get around. Right there, he went real wide. Johnny Greaves did not have a great corner, though. Couldn't take advantage of it, so he's still following him, but he's putting on the pressure.
Coming up on the lap traffic of Todd LeDuc, we asked Johnny Greaves his thoughts on the mandatory yellow, which will be coming out here shortly.
Nobody's going to say it's good or bad until they're in a position where it benefits them. You know, the guys that don't work out for it, they're not going to like it, but, you know, of course, if you're leading, you don't want to stop the race, but, hey, you know, we're here to put a show on for the crowd, and that's what we're going to do.
And putting on a great show, as a matter of fact, as we go on board with Johnny Greaves, who, as we mentioned, has won 7 races in a row. The last time he did not win a regular points-paying race was back in round 7 of 2005 at Topeka. And the battle for third now, as Rick Huseman and Scott Douglas go at it. Douglas will be to Pro 4 full-time in 2006 and will be going with the new tire manufacturer, Kumho.
And look at this, Greaves way to the inside. A little bit of contact, once, twice, 3 times, you're out, baby. I'm around you.
And Greaves takes the lead as now we go on board with Carl Renesetter, who becomes the chaser as opposed to the chasee.
Well, Renesetter's not going to take that lightly. He and Johnny Greaves have had a real strong rivalry now for quite a while. So he's not going to take that lightly. He's going to go back. Oh, Greaves gets way wide. Almost spun the truck out. I think Renesetter had to get out of the throttle or he would have gone around him.
We mentioned that the last race Johnny Greaves lost was in round 7 at Topeka. That race was won by Renesetter as they continue to lap some of the slower traffic. And now Johnny Greaves beginning to pull out to a fairly comfortable lead as this battle for 4th is between Scott Douglas and Jason Baldwin.
Yeah, Jason got under there. He tapped him on the left rear and almost spun himself out because he was too far sideways and he made that contact. Did a nice job keeping control of that truck.
Here we go with the yellow as the 9th lap is completed and we now bunch up the field. Johnny Greaves was the leader. Carl Renesetter was dropping back. Was he dropping back because there was a problem with the truck or because he knew that the yellow was coming out? The Nissan Titan Pace truck picks up the field as we show you the top 5 at the caution point of this race. It's Johnny Greaves over Carl Renesetter, then Huseman, Douglas, and Baldwin. We asked some fans what they have to say about their experience here.
I think the event is great. It's incredible. I'm goosebumps watching the power of the cars and the trucks. It's cool.
It's amazing to me how trucks can go that fast and not flip over, honestly.
Monday night.
CORR rocks sunny SoCal for 4 race weekends. And here, Bark River Off-Road Raceway. This year, racing is bigger in the UP. And here, the big one, where off-road legends are made. Championship Off-Road Racing in 2006. One road trip you won't want to miss.
Off-road racing welcomes you back to Chula Vista International Off-Road Raceway, Chula Vista, California, the Nissan Off-Road Nationals. We are under the mandatory full course caution with Johnny Greaves as the leader. And so far in the first 9 laps, we had a lot of action.
It certainly did. Right here, right off the bat, Johnny Greaves had contact with McCaffrey, got off course, got back on, running about 10th or 12th, and had to work his way back up. Still on the first lap. Josh Baldwin gets into the back of Rob McCaffrey. They get together, and along comes Jason Baldwin, gets tangled up. All 3 of these guys lost a lot of positions. There's only been 1 lead change. That came on lap 8. Johnny Greaves got underneath Carl Renesetter. A couple of little taps from the tail end there to the side of Renesetter. He went on by. So far, he's hanging on.
Getting ready for green as we take a look at the top 10.
Your tires, everything feel okay? Yeah, everything feels good. 10-4.
That's Jason Baldwin's radio as his spotter is conversing with the driver.
Go, buddy, go, go, go.
And there's the green flag. Greaves and Renesetter up top. We got several of the lap trucks in amongst the leaders, and this should prove to be interesting here in the last few laps as Renesetter makes a challenge again on Greaves.
Well, I told you he wasn't going to take this land down. He's going to go back after him. This is a great corner to pass on. There's 2 big grooves. Look at that. He gets up on the bike, and he never got out of the throttle. He was up on 2 wheels and still on the gas.
Renesetter's got one simple objective for this 2-race championship. That's to win.
You know, it's either checkers or wreckers here, and we're hoping to come home with the big money and put this Lucas Oil Be of Gooders truck into the winner's circle.
Well, he's got a little bit of ground to make up here in the final laps if he's going to do that, but he has kept right up there with Greaves.
Checkers or wreckers, I like that. I'll have to steal that sometime. Well, so far, Johnny Greaves has been able to hold him up. He's trying to run a line that makes it difficult for him to get around. So far, he's been able to do that. But you can see, Renesetter goes in high, tries to diamond off the corner and come off low. Looks like this time he's got a great chance. He's clear up beside him. Now he's going to have to go in this next corner, though. He didn't make it. Nope. Man,
Some good, hard competition, though, and the fans in the grandstand are loving it as they watch this two-truck battle for first position. And really, there are some good races going on other than this also, but the question is, can Johnny Greaves win his 8th race in a row in the Pro 4 division?
These are two real veterans. They both just love to stand on the gas. They're both very fast all the time. Now then, they're trying to outsmart the other guy. That's going to be difficult to do for either one of them. I mean, Johnny Greaves knows he's got the lead. He's going to try to maintain a line that's going to make it difficult to get around. And meanwhile, Connor Rennesetter's back there trying to figure something out.
And look way up ahead from the onboard camera of Rick Huseman. That is the battle for the lead. Huseman is running 3rd here at the moment and doing a good job.
He's doing a terrific job. Remember, this is only his first year. Both those other guys have a lot of experience in these Pro 4 trucks.
They're the top 5 here as the race continues to count down, the laps count down. And now,
well, Huseman's hoping these two guys run into each other and then he takes the lead. I can tell you what he's hoping.
And he's sneaking up on the two just a little bit as Rennesetter now again begins to drop back just a little bit. And Greaves has about a 2 or 3 truck length advantage as we're on board with the leader, Johnny Greaves, who makes his home in Wisconsin.
Look how hard it is in that truck. Look at him bouncing around in there. Rennesetter's tried a couple of lines that didn't work. That's the reason he fell back. He's had to do something different to try to make that pass.
And the battle for 4th starting to form. That's Scott Douglas and Jason Baldwin as the lap truck of Rob McCachran is also right up ahead.
And you can see that all of a sudden Baldwin putting a lot of pressure on Douglas. Douglas wants to hang on. Remember, the farther up you finish, there's 2 races. So you got to finish up near the front in this one to have any chance in the next one.
On board with Carl once again. Look how sideways Greaves gets, but really doesn't lose any time.
Yeah, if you were close enough to give him a little tap right there, he'd have been in big trouble because he was very far sideways.
Rennesetter from Laguna Beach, California, so he hopes he can bring a win for the home state here, whereas Greaves is from De Pere, Wisconsin.
Well, right now, Rennesetter, like I said, he's tried a couple of different routes. Now then, it looks like Johnny Greaves got a little sloppy in that corner, slowed up a little bit. That's allowed Rennesetter to gain a little bit on him, but not much time left. He's going to have to figure something out pretty quick.
And Greaves in command here, despite the fact that he had the problem early in the race. The white flag comes out, and we are on the final lap of this event.
Well, now Johnny Greaves has to be, he can't be too cautious because Rennesetter is so close. He wants to make sure he doesn't make a mistake, but he doesn't want to get overly cautious and give him a chance to get in there and make that. Oh, he got up on the bike right there. Both of them did.
Rennesetter takes advantage, still cannot pass him, but he gets closer as they go over the jump, and Greaves just has his hands full here in trying to stave off the challenge of Rennesetter.
Oh, contact. Rennesetter got to the inside. There was a little contact there, but that's, you know, nothing either one of them caused. It just happened.
Clear behind, clear behind.
Jason Baldwin just passed Douglas for 4th position, and Greaves now has a bit of breathing room.
Yeah, no flat tires. A lot of times when you make that much contact, you get a flat tire.
Here it is, a checkered flag, and Johnny Greaves wins round 1 of this 2-race championship and his 8th Pro 4 victory in a row. Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. He did a terrific job. Rennesetter's got to be disappointed because he drove one heck of a race. The lead to Scotty Taylor, who went on to win his first ever race here at Chula Vista, puts him in a great position for the final shootout.
We also look forward to 2006, and here is the schedule. A lot of races will be held here in Chula Vista, but we'll also visit Crandon, Wisconsin, and Park.